Men over 60, I want to share something with you today that might surprise you. What if the very thing you've been searching for, the answer to that private struggle you rarely speak about, isn't found in a pill bottle or a doctor's prescription pad, but in 3 simple movements you can do right now, in the privacy of your own home. Movements so gentle yet so effective that they can begin restoring blood flow to your most intimate areas within just 10 days. Now, I know that sounds almost too simple to be true. You've probably tried everything. You've read the articles, perhaps even visited specialists, and you've been told that what you're experiencing is just part of getting older. But let me tell you something I've learned over decades of working with men just like you. Aging is natural. Decline is not. The body was designed with remarkable systems of circulation, systems that can be reawakened, restored, and revitalized when we understand how they truly work and what they need to function as nature intended. For years, I have seen men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond quietly accept changes that deeply affect their confidence, their relationships, and their sense of themselves as men. They notice that firmness isn't what it used to be. They wake up without those morning signals that once came so naturally. They feel a distance growing between themselves and their partners, not from lack of love, but from a body that seems to have forgotten how to respond. And the common response from conventional medicine is often the same. Here's a pill. Take it 30 minutes before. Hope for the best. But that approach misses something fundamental. An erection, you see, is not a mechanical function that needs to be artificially triggered. It is a natural response that depends entirely on one thing: blood flow. Strong, steady, unrestricted blood flow to the tissues and chambers that create firmness and sensation. When that flow is compromised, when the pathways become sluggish or restricted, the body simply cannot perform as it was designed to. This is not a failure of your masculinity. It is a circulatory issue, and circulation can be restored. The 3 movements I'm going to share with you today work on a principle that is both ancient and scientifically sound. They target specific areas of the body where blood flow tends to become restricted as we age, areas that directly feed the pelvic region, the lower abdomen, and the intimate tissues themselves. These are not exercises in the traditional sense. You won't be lifting weights or running on a treadmill. These are gentle, deliberate movements that stimulate circulation through compression, release, and targeted pressure. Think of them as a way of manually encouraging the body to send fresh, oxygen-rich blood exactly where it's needed most. When performed consistently, just a few minutes each day, these movements can begin to clear the pathways, strengthen the vessels, and restore the natural flow that supports healthy function. Now, before I explain exactly what these movements are and how to perform them, let me help you understand why they work. The male body relies on a delicate network of blood vessels to achieve and maintain firmness. These vessels must dilate, must open wide enough to allow a surge of blood to fill the erectile tissues. Over time, several things happen that interfere with this process. The inner walls of blood vessels can become lined with deposits, tiny accumulations of cholesterol and calcium that narrow the pathways. The vessels themselves can lose elasticity, becoming stiff and less responsive. Blood itself can become thicker, more sluggish, especially when the body is dehydrated or when the diet is heavy in processed foods and low in living nutrients. Add to this the fact that many men over 60 live relatively sedentary lives, and you have a perfect storm of reduced circulation. The blood simply isn't moving with the force and freedom it once did. This is where these 3 movements become so valuable. They work by applying gentle pressure to specific points and areas that directly influence pelvic circulation. The first movement focuses on the lower abdomen, just above the pubic bone. This area is rich with blood vessels that feed directly into the pelvic region. When we apply rhythmic compression here, we're essentially massaging those vessels, encouraging them to dilate and allowing trapped or sluggish blood to move. The second movement targets the inner thighs and groin, areas where major arteries pass through on their way to the genitals. By stretching and compressing these areas in a specific way, we open those pathways and increase flow. The third movement works on the perineum, that often overlooked area between the genitals and the anus. This is where a major cluster of nerves and blood vessels converge. And stimulating this area can have profound effects on sensation, firmness, and overall function. Let me walk you through each movement in detail, because understanding not just what to do, but why you're doing it, makes all the difference. The first movement, which I call the abdominal compression, is performed lying down on your back in a comfortable position. You'll want to be in a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Perhaps in bed before you sleep or first thing in the morning. Place both hands flat on your lower abdomen, fingers pointing downward toward your pubic bone. Now, apply gentle but firm pressure, pressing down as you exhale slowly. Hold that pressure for a count of 5, then release as you inhale. You're not pressing hard enough to cause pain, but you should feel a deep, satisfying pressure. Repeat this 10 times. What you're doing here is manually encouraging blood to move through the vessels that lie beneath your hands. You're also stimulating the lymphatic system, which helps clear away toxins and inflammation that can further restrict blood flow. This simple act, repeated daily, begins to train the body to send more blood to this region naturally. The second movement focuses on the inner thighs and groin area. For this, you'll sit on the floor or on your bed with your legs spread wide in a comfortable V shape. Place your hands on your inner thighs, close to the groin. Now, lean forward gently, feeling a stretch through the inner thigh muscles. As you lean forward, press your hands firmly into the muscle, massaging in small circles. Move slowly down the inner thigh toward the knee, then back up toward the groin. Spend about 2 minutes on each leg. This movement does several things at once. It stretches the adductor muscles, which when tight can compress the femoral artery, one of the major blood highways to the pelvic region. It also stimulates the inguinal lymph nodes, which help filter and clear the blood. And the massage action itself encourages the vessels to dilate and the blood to flow more freely. Many men carry tremendous tension in the inner thighs and groin, often without even realizing it. This movement releases that tension and opens the pathways. The third movement is perhaps the most powerful, though it requires a bit more privacy and comfort with your own body. This targets the perineum, that area between the base of the scrotum and the anus. You can perform this lying on your back or sitting in a comfortable position. Using your middle and index fingers, locate the perineum. You'll feel a slight indentation or soft area. Apply gentle but firm pressure here, pressing upward toward the body. Hold for a count of 10, then release. Repeat this 10 times. What you're doing is stimulating what is sometimes called the $1 million point in traditional medicine, a pressure point that has been used for centuries to support male vitality and function. Modern understanding tells us why this works. The perineum sits directly over the bulbospongiosus muscle and a network of blood vessels and nerves that feed the penis. Stimulating this area increases blood flow, strengthens the pelvic floor muscles that support erections, and can even help with issues of premature release by strengthening control. Some men report feeling an almost immediate increase in sensation and awareness in the genital area after just a few days of practicing this movement. Now let me be clear about what to expect. In the first few days, you may not notice dramatic changes. What you will likely feel is a subtle increase in warmth and sensation in the pelvic area. You might notice that you're thinking about intimacy more often, that your body is responding with more interest. These are early signs that circulation is beginning to improve. By the end of the first week, many men report waking with partial morning erections, something that may have been absent for months or even years. This is a powerful indicator that blood flow is being restored. By day 10, if you've been consistent performing these movements every single day, you should notice firmer, more sustained erections, increased sensitivity, and a general sense of vitality and confidence that extends beyond the bedroom. Of course, every man is different. A man who has severe circulatory issues, diabetes, or significant arterial blockage may take longer to see results, but the principle remains the same. The body responds when it is supported gently, consistently, and naturally. But there is more to this story than just the movements themselves. To truly restore blood flow and reclaim your vitality, these movements must be supported by what you put into your body. The blood that flows through your vessels is only as healthy as the nutrients you provide. This is why I always encourage men to pair these movements with simple dietary adjustments that support circulation. One of the most powerful of these is raw garlic. Garlic has been used for centuries to support heart health and circulation, and modern science now confirms why. Garlic contains a compound called aligan, which helps relax blood vessels, reduce blood pressure, and prevent the formation of those deposits that narrow the arteries. Eating just 1 or 2 raw cloves of garlic each day, crushed and mixed with a bit of raw honey to make it more palatable, can significantly enhance the effects of these movements. The garlic works from the inside, clearing and opening the vessels, while the movements work from the outside, stimulating flow. Another powerful ally is beetroot. Beets are rich in natural nitrates, compounds that the body converts into nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is essential for vascular health. It signals the blood vessels to relax and dilate, allowing more blood to flow through. This is the same mechanism that many pharmaceutical solutions attempt to mimic, but beetroot provides it naturally, without side effects. Drinking a small glass of fresh beetroot juice each day, or simply eating roasted beets with your meals, can provide your body with the raw materials it needs to produce nitric oxide and support healthy circulation. When combined with the 3 movements, the effects can be profound. You're giving your body both the stimulation to move blood and the biochemical support to keep those vessels open and responsive. Hydration is another factor that cannot be overlooked. Blood is approximately 55% water. When you're dehydrated, even mildly, your blood becomes thicker, more viscous, and harder for the heart to pump efficiently. This sluggish blood struggles to fill the small capillaries and tissues of the penis, making firmness difficult to achieve and maintain. Drinking pure, clean water throughout the day, aiming for at least 8 glasses, ensures that your blood remains fluid and easy to move. Add a pinch of natural sea salt to your water in the morning to help your body retain and utilize that hydration more effectively. This simple act supports not only circulation, but overall cellular function. One thing that many men don't realize is that these movements and dietary supports also benefit far more than just intimate function. When you improve circulation to the pelvic region, you're also supporting prostate health. The prostate gland relies on good blood flow to stay healthy and free from inflammation. Poor circulation can contribute to enlargement, discomfort, and urinary issues. By restoring flow, you're nourishing the prostate, reducing inflammation, and supporting its natural function. You may find that nighttime trips to the bathroom become less frequent, that the stream becomes stronger, and that discomfort diminishes. These are all signs that the body is responding to the increased circulation and the support you're providing. Energy levels often improve as well. When blood flows freely, oxygen and nutrients reach every cell more efficiently. This means your muscles have more fuel, your brain functions more clearly, and your overall vitality increases. Many men report feeling more energetic, more motivated, and more present in their daily lives after just a couple of weeks of practicing these movements and supporting them with proper nutrition. It's as if the body, once given what it needs, begins to remember what it's capable of. Sleep quality can improve too. The perineal movement in particular helps activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode that allows the body to relax deeply and repair itself during sleep. Better sleep means better hormone production, including testosterone, which further supports male vitality and function. Let me also address something that weighs heavily on the minds of many men over 60, the emotional and psychological impact of declining function. It's easy to feel as though you're losing a part of yourself, as though age is stripping away your masculinity and your ability to connect with your partner in that deeply intimate way. This can lead to withdrawal, to avoiding intimacy altogether, to feelings of shame or inadequacy. But I want you to hear this clearly. What you're experiencing is not a reflection of your worth as a man. It is a physical issue with a physical solution. When you begin to see improvements, when you feel that firmness returning, when you wake up with that unmistakable signal that your body is functioning as it should, it does more than restore physical capability. It restores confidence. It restores hope. It reminds you that you are still vital, still capable, still fully yourself. And that emotional shift can transform not just your intimate life, but your entire sense of well-being. So, gentlemen, let us bring this all together. What I've shared with you today are 3 simple movements. Movements that you can begin tonight that cost you nothing, that require no equipment, no doctor's visit, no prescription. These movements work by stimulating circulation to the areas that matter most for male function. When performed consistently, just a few minutes each day, they can begin to restore blood flow, increase firmness, enhance sensation, and bring back those morning signals that tell you your body is working as it should. Support these movements with simple dietary choices like raw garlic, beetroot, and proper hydration, and you create a powerful combination that addresses the root cause of decline, not just the symptoms. This is not about forcing your body to perform. It is about giving your body what it needs to remember how to function naturally. Within 10 days, if you commit to this practice, you should begin to notice real, tangible changes. And over time, those changes can become profound. If you found this information valuable, if it gave you hope or a new understanding of what's possible, I encourage you to share it with a friend who might also be searching for natural answers. And if you're new to these discussions, consider following along so you don't miss the other natural science-backed approaches we explore each week. Your health, your vitality, your confidence, these are treasures worth protecting, and it is never too late to reclaim them. So tonight, as you lie down to rest, take those few minutes to perform these movements. Feel the warmth, the increased sensation, the subtle but powerful shifts beginning in your body. Trust that with consistency, patience, and the right support, your body knows how to heal, how to restore, and how to function as it was always meant to. May this practice bring you strength, renewed confidence, and the deep satisfaction of knowing that vitality is not lost with age, but simply waiting to be reawakened.